Hi there, I'm Chris Berman. We got a lot of games to cover, so let's get to it. In our first game this week, we had the 49ers squeeze out a 4-point victory. The Dolphins lost this one, but will stay at number 3 in the AFC East. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Kewaukie Thomas will be moving on from his current address, and he gets a pretty good deal to do it. 4 years, $1.2 million. Ramos is on the move. Perhaps not for all that he thought he'd get, but a good deal nonetheless. 6 years, $9.0 million, plus a $1.8 million signing bonus. Hunter got snatched up as well, and he signs a 2-year contract with the Bucs. This week had some big injuries, and we'll get to all of them, but we're going to start right here. Dwan Edwards sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. X-rays revealing that a broken foot is the report. He'll be out for the rest of the regular season. Now, on to even bigger news, as you may have already heard. Andre Dyson will miss the remainder of the season. So now that secondary is going to have to really come together if they're going to make up for his absence. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Texans pick up their 6th win of the year. Joe Little Bighorn stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Broncos, Colts. Quentin Griffin is in the backfield at the 37-yard line, gets the pitch, spins right there, whoop! And then at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown! The Broncos win this one by the final score of 27-20. Andre Davis pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Browns beat the Panthers. By the coal mines of Pittsburgh, we had the Steelers stroll away with a 14-point win. Down in the Georgia Dome, we had the Falcons stroll away with a 14-point win. The Patriots got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at Gillette Stadium. The Eagles won on the road and end their season on a high note. Jets, Chargers. Phillip Rivers calling signals at his own 40-yard line, rolls, then fires a slant. Look at him go! He could go all the way. 60-yard score! The Chargers go on to win this by the final score of 28-17. The Packers won this contest, but will stay at the 2nd place in the NFC North. The Chiefs win yet again this week and keep their impressive streak alive. A.J. Touchy-Feely threw for 2 touchdowns and helped his Jaguars beat the Raiders. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Bears pick up their 6th win of the year. And last but not least, we had the Buccaneers come away victorious.
All right, Chris, thanks. All right, folks, our playoff picture has now been officially finalized. So let's take a look at it now, shall we? We'll begin with a look at the AFC. And now, checking things out over in the NFC playoff race. So there you have it, the regular season now in the books. Time to see which of these 12 teams will emerge as Super Bowl champs. We'll get it started for you on ESPN next weekend. And that'll do it from here. Chris, let's send it back over to you.
And then there were 12, the playoffs, right around the corner, which means it's time for our regular season awards. But first, my primetime players. The final round of game balls go to these Warriors, each with a standout performance in the final game of the regular season. All right, as promised, here's a look at this year's best of the best, our season-ending NFL awards. Michael Vick, without a doubt, is going to take home the hardware in this one. You see the numbers on your screen, but numbers really don't tell the whole story. Leadership, work ethic, love of the game, that's what truly makes him stand out. He had, without question, the best year of anyone. Peyton Manning has got to be our choice for Offensive Player of the Year, and you've got to be hard-pressed to find better numbers than that. Obviously, give a lot of credit to the rest of the offense, but this is the guy that was driving the car, so to speak. Lawyers in Love Malloy gets the nod as our Defensive Player of the Year, and I'll tell you what, there was no one better at taking quarterbacks and receivers alike completely out of their game. Great season. Lynch comes away with the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. You know, it's very difficult to come straight from college and be handed the keys to an NFL offense, but he stepped in and did a bang-up job. Watch out. He's only going to get better with age. Lawson was our Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hard to think of any young linebacker with better instincts for the football than he has. He wins it in a landslide. Stephen Davis ran away with the rushing title this year. Talk about a threat out of the backfield, my friends. Finesse, speed, a surprising amount of power, which he used to bowl over the few who actually managed to lay a finger on him. What a year. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.